While many people think meteorologists only use computers to detect the weather, there's also aircraft that fly right into hurricanes to help give an accurate forecast of those severe storms. Our own weekend forecaster Brittany Ward was able to check out some of those aircrafts as they made a stop at Reagan National Airport this week. Take a look.
It's National Hurricane Preparedness Week, and hurricane hunters came to Reagan International Airport to talk about the risk of hurricanes.
We are less than 1 month away until the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season arrives.
So a hurricane is a weather system that essentially is trying to move warm air from the tropics northward to what we call mid-latitude areas where it tends to be colder. It's just the Earth's way of trying to balance the whole Earth atmosphere system.
When a hurricane makes landfall, lots of things can happen. Torrential rain to large amounts of water push on shore that can cause catastrophic flooding. Hurricane-force winds can bring widespread power outages to an entire community, and long-track tornadoes can even spin up from a hurricane. With 2020 being the most active hurricane season on record, hurricane hunters and emergency management officials are spreading the word to start getting yourself and family prepared.
You have to be ready for the hazards. There are several life-threatening hazards associated with tropical storms and hurricanes. You get up into the mid-Atlantic states, you can have storm surge, you can have freshwater flooding, you can have wind. So all of those can result in various levels of risk for people in their location where they live.
When it comes down to hurricanes entering our area, officials urge people to move away from these destructive storms. But for Nikki Hathaway, she flies towards them. She's a hurricane hunter and one of the flight directors on board. She, along with her team, collects crucial data that saves lives.
The data that we're collecting live is going straight off our aircraft into computer models to the National Hurricane Forecasters' desks. So they're looking at it real time the second we collect it, and then using that to essentially make their forecast. And that forecast is what goes out to the public officials, local emergency managers, and ultimately the public.
Jerica Shackelford works with Homeland Security and Emergency Management for the nation's capital. She tells us that even though Washington, D.C. is not a coastal area, she says people should still know the far-reaching impacts that hurricanes can cause.
The first thing is not to assume that just because we're not on a coastal region that we won't be impacted by a hurricane. There are a lot of cascading effects like flooding, high winds that can really cause a lot of damage, loss of power. So be mindful by making sure that you have a preparedness kit.
And experts say it's important to have your plan in place now and know what you're doing just in case a hurricane does come to affect you and your family. Hurricane season starts June 1st. For now, I'm reporting in Virginia. I'm Brittany Ward for WDVM 25.